My name is Teo, and I've broken down my talk for you today into 4 quarters. So the first quarter is toys and games. Now, I define toys and games as the objects that guide, lead, and organize play. So a toy, as pictured here, as distinct from a game, is an object that collaborates with a human being. It offers sensory information. It offers its weight, its texture, its taste, in strange situations, and its smell to the human being, and the human being in response plays with it. A game is an object that communicates with the player. So it, like Monopoly, would have a set of instructions that communicate the way of playing. And in the case of dodgeball, it has more guidelines and instructions. You can communicate back by saying, I want to follow this rule, I don't want to follow that. So the next thing I have to talk about is object manipulation. And this is a term that I've stolen directly from the world of juggling and circus arts. So what the term is a blanket term for things that exist a little bit outside of traditional juggling. There's things like yo-yo, things like cardistry, things like kendama, things like plate spinning. So it creates a world for all of those things to exist as one. But I find that term useful to apply to all designed objects. So in the case of a baseball bat, that engages in object manipulation in the sense that it's a human being engaging with an object to achieve a desired effect. The same with writing. So all everyday objects, in a sense, I am object manipulative. So the next thing I have to talk about is ambiguity, but I've had some time saved by Ariana. We talked about that earlier, so I'll just use what she said. So this stapler is a 10 on the ambiguity scale, and you know what it's called a stapler, and you know its functions, if I'm talking about this something. So on the design ambiguity scale, this is a 10, because you know what to do with it. Same with the pair of scissors. It has a signifier word, scissors, and a signified function to cut paper. So this, we don't know what this is. It has no clear signifier word, and thereby no clear signified function. It is ambiguous. So that is what you're looking at, and I can tell you what it is. It's an egg poacher, and its function is to poach eggs. So now I've just taken away that creative moment where you're trying to figure out what it is. And that's what I'm interested in, is that moment where you're trying to say, what is that, what is it called, and thereby, what do I use it for? So the last thing I have to say is unifying design. And this is something that I'm still thinking about. I'm essentially asking myself the question, when I make an object, how can I have it be unifying rather than divisive? And the only inkling that I have of how to do that with designed objects is to make it somewhat ambiguous and interactive so that when you approach it, it allows you to come at it with your own point of view rather than having somebody else tell you this is how to play. So that creates diversity and then unity in diversity. So now I'll show you some images of my artwork. So here is something that fits more under the category of toy based on the definitions I gave you. So it gives enough information so that you know what to do, but not so much that you feel like there's only one way to do it. This is something that's a little bit closer to a game. The contours of the board give you a little bit of instruction. It's not completely confusing. Here we have another game. It's 2 ceramic frogs on a felt mat with silk leaves and water sewn on top of them, and it rolls up. I was thinking about my work on the ambiguity scale, and I think that it probably falls around about a 6, because it's obviously meant to be an object, and it's, in some cases, obviously a toy. So that was interesting to think about in the sense that I'm trying to create ambiguity, but when I looked at the scale, I was past the moment. At least, from what I could tell. This is a wooden handle on a rope. And that's a ball on 2 play surfaces. This is a table I built. All of the legs are lathed with different shapes. It is meant to be a card table. So this is actually one of the most clearly defined functions that I have, the most obvious object. It's definitely a table, and I think it's definitely a card table. And these cards you're seeing now, I'll show you in more detail in just a moment. so they are just like everything else you've seen, in that they have enough information to get you started, but they aren't meant to be played in a certain way. They have no rules. You can use them on tarot cards. You can play a sort of Uno-like game with these if you like. And here is a lizard with a wooden ball. So the lizard also becomes a sort of maze to roll the ball around. And last but not least, I have an installation that I put together which has all of my work in a playroom, play environment. And everything that you've seen so far is in this room, a couple of things more, and it's completely interactive. Everything is meant to be touched and broken if necessary in the touching process. And here we have something that delighted me because I did not make my object to be children's toys. I did not know whether children would like them or not. They were sort of conceptual investigations of design and exploring different ways of making sculpture that you can play with. But they were very engaged, and that was really delightful to see that they actually liked to play with the things that I made. So, with that, I'm going to show you some of my most recent work. And feel free, after if you're interested, to come and play with me. You can find out. So this is a fuzzy box. That's a fuzzy box. Checkerboard pattern, maybe it's like a dice or something. And this one has a spring mechanism in it, so it's a walnut pyramid on top of it. So feel free to play around with this box. Thank you very much.